Congratulations! It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the Great American Game. And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Okay, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Dun 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 dun.
I feel like I should know that one. I feel like it's easy. I feel like this is a layup.
It's actually the OG Transformers.
Oh, I wouldn't know that because all I know
That was
is
a banger, man. That was a banger back.
all
in
I know is
84.
the hair metal version. Transformers.
You got the touch.
You got the power. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies, Nursing Bully. Your host Leroy, aka, but he made College Dropout though, with my co-host.
Oh Jesus. This is Eli, aka the Spinneroonie. I don't know.
And we're off to a great start already. Yeah, and we're back with an episode. And first off, let's change this background. What are we doing? There we go. Anyway, we're back with the episode. We're going to jump into it. A lot of stuff happened this weekend. One thing that happened this weekend, Eli, down here in the South, is Mardi Gras, aka Fat Tuesday. You know,
All right.
so with all those people surrounding the next area, you know what that means, right?
Next pandemic?
COVID is back on the menu, boys. So Eli's dreams has come true again.
Oh, it's the bird flu this time.
Right. It's gonna be
suck.
everything. Flu, a pandemic, polio. We're getting everything next week. Yeah. And another thing happened this weekend, like I said, for those that have been watching now, you know, what happened? A foosball game happened.
Some sort of sporting contest took place, as I understand.
Yeah. So I know this is a geek podcast. We don't talk about sports. We actually don't talk about sports a lot on this podcast, on this particular episode for some reason, but we're gonna keep going. But yeah, somebody won. I'm glad your team won. It's already done. Who won?
I guess the Eagles.
Found
out. Yeah, I just found out like about an hour ago because I didn't watch.
The Eagles won. It was actually like a pretty much an ass whooping. It was like
that's what I hear, which I find hilarious.
I blame y'all. I blame y'all because y'all have bullied those refs so hard they scared to call anything. Mahomes got punched in the face tonight. They were like, I'm not calling that. They gonna
by a dick.
Right. So
they just got a dick in the eye. No.
Right. Yellow flag. That's all. But I don't care about the game. The game's whatever. All we care about is two things: the commercials and the halftime show. Now, the reason I want to talk about the halftime show because, like I said, Kendrick Lamar performed. This is the first solo rapper to ever perform at the halftime show. He's performed before the halftime show before, but always with other people. He's headlining right now. And Eli, as a Kendrick Lamar fan, I was hoping I would get a traditional Kendrick Lamar show performance where he performs some of his classic songs, and we had a good time. But did he do any of that? No, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Was do his anthem where he calls Drake a pedophile for 30 minutes. So, and I was going to show you a clip of Serena Williams crip walking on stage while he was calling him a pedophile. That's his ex-girlfriend. So, yeah. So he had his ex-girlfriend on stage crip walking to him calling him a pedophile for 30 minutes. So that's it. So here's my thing about this. I know everybody loves the song. I know he's worn that song out. Let the song die. Let the song retire. We don't need to hear the song anymore. We're done with that song. You won your 5 Grammys. You performed at the Super Bowl. You looked directly at the camera and said, Drake, you're a pedophile. We get it. You had the entire plan. You had grandma saying A minor. I get it. Let it go, man. Move on. Do something else. We
Nah,
don't even hear
man,
this song anymore.
that's his hit. That's like Tone Loc doing
And
a
that's
show
the
and saying,
problem.
"I ain't gonna play no Funky Cole Medina tonight because I got a bunch of new shit."
And that's the problem. He's got so many great songs, Eli, that when he's not calling Drake a pedophile, he could do those songs. Because I feel like him doing that song over and over and over again, he's like tying his legacy or his brand to another guy. And he's better than that. He don't need to be that guy that just hates Drake. He can,
Yeah,
and,
but
and I get that. He is a
we don't live in that kind of age, man.
I know, man. It's just like, just let it go, man. Because you don't need to be in that area where you just, I get it. You hate this guy. You don't like this guy. Move on. You don't have to be everything that come out your mouth about that guy. That's all I'm saying. So,
Did he take any pot shots at a certain somebody in the audience?
like who? Who's in the audience?
I ain't gonna say because then we're gonna have that in the algorithm.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the callers. Let's see what we got. We're gonna jump. Don't worry, we're gonna get into here's the play. What stream? Don't honestly think the NFL would allow Kendrick to perform these songs. How much? He gets it. Who are you? Who look Khalik? He
Khalik.
gets it.
And that's what I'm saying is like because I think of Kendrick. I think of I think of Kendrick as like a modern day like Public Enemy or KRS-One.
And
You know what I
yes,
mean?
like he has a lot of songs like that on the level. Like, how much does a dollar cost? He's
like
talking about giving $1 to God that was going to help him out later on. Like he got some deep songs like that.
Yeah, very
But no,
socially conscious. Yeah.
But we can't have those songs. We got to have Drake as a pedo. 30 minutes. Like we get it. You don't like this guy. Please give us something else.
Yeah.
Because he has so many other better songs, man, that I wish he would have played. But he's like stuck in this cycle that everybody just wants him to just do this one thing now because that's what he's known for. You got a bunch of people that never listened
like
before, and they're known for this. So
yeah, people like the pettiness. You know.
Yes, and I'm over it, Eli. I'm over it by this point. We wore this song out in the summer, so I don't want to go through 2025 hearing this song again. I'm good. I'm done. And I don't even like Drake like that. I just want him to do something else. I want to do it for Kendrick's side. I'm more of a Kendrick fan. I want him to do something else. So that's all I'm saying. I'm done. Move on to something else. Kendrick, please give us something else other than that song. That's all. You won. Let it go. All right. Let me see if we move on past that.
Sure.
Okay. Like I said, we're going to start off with you, Eli, because you saw a movie, and I'm shocked. Because this came, first off, I don't know what this movie is. And you're reviewing the movie in the theaters. So
I'm reviewing the movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna set you up and you can knock it down. So the movie, well, you go ahead. I'm gonna just throw this up here. Boom.
Okay, yeah. I saw Heart Eyes, the new slasher movie. We have a new Valentine's Day slasher movie.
It's funny when you reviewed a Valentine's Slashers comic last week and you were like you were getting in the mood for the season. I'm like, with a horror comic? I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, let's get serious. Valentine's Day is stupid.
Oh, don't tell me you about to get all woke with it's commercialism and
I could, but it's just stupid. It's a stupid, shitty holiday that makes you blow money on bullshit. It pretty much causes more problems than anything.
Yeah, because most people break up on the 15th afterwards. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a stupid holiday, but no, one of my favorite slasher movies is My Bloody Valentine. So it's and keeping in the holiday horror tradition. Yes, I break out My Bloody Valentine around now. So yeah, I read that comic last week, the comic that I reviewed. And now there's a new Valentine's Day slasher movie called Heart Eyes. And yeah, this is about another psycho killer who basically goes around the country, picks a random city, and stalks couples on Valentine's Day. And he's been doing it for so long that now couples are afraid to go out on Valentine's Day, a fear of being slaughtered by this guy. So it's kind of like The Purge in a way. So he picks a random city, and then that Valentine's Day goes to that city and just slaughters random couples on their Valentine's Day date, which I think is hilarious. And then here we go. We have this young couple attractive couple. They go out on Valentine's Day and they get stalked by this psycho killer throughout the movie, and carnage ensues. And it's a whole lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. This is a very much a great slasher movie, but it is also a rom-com. It is also a romantic comedy.
Now, I'm thinking you would hate that.
It's like I said, I'll watch a romantic comedy or any movie as long as you put a psycho killer in it.
Okay, that's the secret sauce. Okay,
yeah, like I've never seen Clueless, but if you put a fucking psycho killer in Clueless, I'll watch that.
Would that work? I guess. Okay. Well, Paul Rudd got to be the first one to go. Paul Rudd's in Clueless,
or he's the killer.
Yeah. Or yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So that's what we have. We have, and it basically takes the two genres and mashes them together, and it works very well. It has all the great elements of a slasher flick, a cool killer. He looks cool. His mask looks cool. He's got a cool origin story. You got some great kills, very solid gore. It's paced very well. And characters you connect with. And then you have the romantic comedy side, the rom-com, and it follows all those tropes. The boy meets girl, they go out on a date, they have all this tension, they have all this chemistry, the will they, won't they kind of comes into play. They're always bickering, and that adds to the comedy, because this is very funny. This had me laughing my ass off, and yeah, it works. They're always bickering and arguing, and of course there's a psycho killer after them the whole movie, and they're always arguing and shit. So it's cute, so it follows the rom-com tropes as well. And yeah, I had a good time with this. There's a great scene where they're at, like, towards the end at a drive-in, where they happen upon a drive-in where all the Valentine's Day couples are at a drive-in watching some old classic Hollywood love story. And then the killer shows up and starts slaughtering everybody. And it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think I can critique is should I spoil? I don't know if I want to spoil it. Should I spoil it? Do you care? Are you gonna see it?
I don't care. You can spoil it. Yeah.
All right, spoilers.
I mean, like I said, you put up the disclaimer, so if anybody does care, disclaimer. Okay.
Yeah, spoilers. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The killer is revealed to be multiple killers. And I feel like that they're doing that a lot these days in slasher movies.
You blame on Scream.
Yeah, Scream. It started with Scream, and then it just feels like lately there's been a few slasher movies and even books. I've read a couple of novels lately where it turned out to be multiple killers. Mm-hmm. They set up this whodunit and who's the killer, and you're trying to guess at who the killer is going to be, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's a bunch of them. Right.
Oh, this person did it this time, and this person did it at that time.
Yeah, to keep you guessing, to throw you off. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel that that's kind of a cop out in a way. It's
absolutely,
okay,
yeah. Because the whole point of half the fun of it is discovering the mystery. But when everybody's a fucking killer, there's no mystery.
I was like, okay, well, it can't be that guy because he's getting chased by the killer right now. Oh, but he was just putting on an act, So that's kind of the only gripe I have with that, the reveal at the end. And then the strobes. That's just a nitpicky thing with me. Strobe lights, the flashing lights, running down dark corridors with strobes and flashing lights is getting really annoying.
The J.J. Abrams thing.
Yeah, like I feel like Alien Romulus had a lot of that. That was annoying the shit out of me too.
True.
I get, it's disorienting and adding to the tension and the terror. No, it's just annoying. You're fucking getting on my nerves.
He's an auteur, Eli. Come on.
Yeah. So that's about it. Just little nitpicky things, but overall, I had a lot of fun with this. This was a blast. I mean, like I said, it blends both genres together. If you're into slasher movies, well, here's a rom-com for you. If you're into rom-coms, well, here's a slasher movie for you. So
can't go wrong.
So yeah, I'll give this a 4 out of 5. This was a lot of fun.
Cool. Oh shit, it's on me. I wasn't ready. Okay. All right. Now
You wanted me to go deep dive?
yeah, see what you were really trying to say.
Yeah.
See, the heart represents.
Yeah, an ass.
Right. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to review I'm going to review Invincible season 3. Season 3 is back. I've been waiting for this. I've been like, yes, this is season. Because here's the thing. I don't know. A lot of people had their problem with season 2. Season 2 had a lot of problems. One problem they had with season 2 is that they divided the seasons up. Where it was like months between they finished the season. So people finished up like the first part of the season, kind of just fell off and just stopped talking about it. So didn't happen. And then on top of that, like for those that have read the comic, this guy, that part of the arc in season 2 was pretty much the worst, most boring part of the comic. It was like, yeah, his dad is evil, his dad is insane and shit like that. Now what? Everybody's sad. So that's like the whole season, whole arc like that. Now, once you get past that, the comic gets a lot better, and that's where we're at right now. Eli,
I remember the comic taking a while for it to really hook me.
And that's the thing, like the comic pacing and the show pacing is different. I got to get used to it because like the comic, you're reading it issue after issue, so it gradually gets there. But the show, you can't do that. The show, you got to have this big thing at the beginning, you got this big thing at the end to keep you watching for the next episode. Sometimes the comic, he wasn't even invincible. He was just a dude just walking around.
Yeah, well, and I think with the comic at the time when the comic came out, the whole deconstruction and there's different take on the superhero genre was still kind of new,
Right.
And so the comic was better at telling that.
It was one of the first ones to do it because it was like early 2000s when it was doing it.
Yeah, So now that we're in this big giant superhero bubble now, where people expect faster pacing and
Right, and I get it. I get it. Some things don't translate over to other mediums, so I'm okay with that. Like I said, something to get. But Eli, that's what I'm saying. We are in the black suit era now. This is when shit hit the fan on this show. Even the first 3 episodes, I feel like, yes, Invincible's finally back because the first the first season, all 3, everybody loved it. Oh, this was shocking. I'm the man killing people left and right in Justice League, whatever like that. Second season, okay, nothing's for that. Because a lot of things in the second season was setting up stuff that's going to pay off in the third season. Because we're there in the third season. You got new characters. Omni-Man Jr. is finally in the show. I've been waiting for him to show up. He's there. People think he's like this sweet little kid right now. No, he's a fucking psycho. You're gonna learn that later. I'm sorry, spoilers. It's gonna happen. You will see it later on. Let's see. Evening, fellas.
We have actually, yes. Musher 27.
Musher 27. The show and the comic, both.
Yeah. It was like we reviewed it. It was a few episodes ago. We did the finale. Yeah. We actually reviewed it as it was going along. And
we reviewed it like reviewing each episode. But I did. Like I said, if you just go in the search, type of saying Keith Commandos, it'll tell you, and I time stamped it. If you don't want to listen to the whole show, whatever, like that, you want to go right to it, it'll take you right to it. Yeah. So I try to make it as easy for everybody as possible. So
short answer, we did watch it and we did enjoy it.
We enjoyed it, yeah. Wait for season 2 because they already greenlit it. So yeah. But this is the show I'm excited for. Like I said, this is the show I was waiting for, Invincible. Like I said, you got new characters showing up. People are starting to see that the people they thought were good people aren't as good. Even Invincible isn't as good as you think he is because they're starting to understand that it's shades of gray. Like, for instance, why does Invincible have a no-kill rule? Why does he not just take out his enemies and be done with this shit like that? And he's starting to have a moral, conflict with that. Like, why don't I just take these guys out instead of having them come back and kill a whole bunch of people later on? If I finish them off now, they're done. And the thing is, but if he does have the no-kill rule, then it makes him seem more and more like his father, who everybody already is scared of. To begin with, they're scared. He's one step away from becoming him. I have to check it out. Thank you. I'll listen to the whole show here.
Cool, man.
Mush is finna leave right now. Go listen to Chris Commandos. Thanks. Fuck what y'all talking about right now. Let me go. Thank you for listening, regardless of what you're doing. So yeah. So like I said, you got that shadow because the thing is, Mark is getting to the point where he's getting so powerful that the enemy is starting to become him. And I'm starting to like it that the character, the supporting characters are starting to get more shine. I know in the first season because they had to fly through so much of it, they couldn't give really shine. But those supporting characters are fun characters. And they're starting to get into that one. So, yeah, I do have to get into some things that some one of the nitpicks that everybody says about this show, the animation. I gotta say, the animation is not top notch or top tier compared to the other shows we're seeing. Like you watch this and then you go watch X-Men 97, you like, something's lacking. It ain't there, and it's where it's supposed to be at. But in my opinion, the writing is so good, the voice acting is so good, and I think the animation is serviceable. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's serviceable. That is good enough. It didn't care. Like it didn't hinder me while watching it. I do wish it was better, but I'm fine with what we got. Now I do have one main concern, because like I said, with the spoilers, I'm putting that spoiler like that because like I said, I've read the whole comics. So I'm trying to do everything. Ever since we've been reviewing Invincible, I've been doing everything I can to not do spoilers. But I gotta say this. So they're setting it up that they already said that there's supposed to be some kind of big alien vulture might come in to beat his ass. That's why he got to train for the shit right there. Now, so I don't know if it's gonna happen this season or maybe next season, but he's probably gonna get into the fight with this dude named Conquest. Now, I wish I could have got a scan or a panel of it, Eli. I forgot to do it, but I will say this: the Invincible Conquest fight in the comics, in my opinion, is one of the greatest comic fights of all time. Superhero fights of all time. Of all time. I'll put against anybody. Dr. Doom, Superman, Doomsday. I don't give a fuck who you name.
Shazam,
Invincible
Superman, Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come. Look, Shazam. That was a badass fight. Not gonna lie. I put it on that level, Eli. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So and I mentioned that fight. Like I always was reading it. I was like, man, Invincible versus Conquest. If they ever do this like live action or animation, you can't half-ass with this. It's got to be as epic as it was on that page. And with the animation, I don't think they can do it. I don't think
they're saving all the money. They saved all their money for that scene.
And that may be the case. That may be the case. That's why the shitty animation right now. So
okay, we're going to go 20 frames per second for the whole season except the finale.
Right. And then when Conquest finally shows up, they're going to ship that shit off to Korea or some shit, some animation studio over there.
Yeah.
That shit gonna look like Dragon Ball Z. Some shit. See, Eli, don't get my hopes up. Don't give me hope, Eli. Don't give me hope.
Von Farrell's back. What's up?
Yeah, Von Farrell, what's going on? Depth Show by Invincible. Yeah. I'll have to go check. Yeah, okay. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people will complain about the show that they call him Invincible, even though he gets his ass beat all the time. Okay. In the season 3 and going forward, he's training to get better. So he doesn't get his ass whooped nowhere near as much as he did in the first season because he's getting better. So he has other conflicts he has to deal with also. Don't get me wrong. Conquest beats his ass when he gets there. But like I said, you got to see the fight when he gets there. And Battle Beast will be back. So yeah. Oh, that's all I got. I wasn't gonna go like deep into it because like I said, we're only three episodes in. What do we got here? He lives to see another day. Yeah. Death Chokes. Yeah. Let's see. And they do change us. I'm not going to get into it. For real. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I will say this with what's the boy Omni-Man Jr. Battle Beast. Yeah. I won't get into it too deep. But the thing is with this, that they changed some things in the storyline. So Omni-Man Jr. is just as psycho as Omni-Man. That's the thing about it. But when he's talking to his brother Mark, Invincible, he asks him, "Don't you feel the same way? Don't you feel like Dad was right sometimes?" Now in the comic, Invincible like, "Yeah, sometimes I do. We should kill these motherfuckers. Be done with it." But they changed it in the cartoon. They kind of make him a little bit more sympathetic. So I'm kind of seeing where we go with that. That's all. So I'm excited. Invincible back. This is my show. This is waiting on. Eli, that Spider-Man show, I kind of fell asleep on it last time it came on.
Well, they released 3 episodes. I'm like, what the hell?
They did.
And all those 3 episodes were just not a lot happened. I don't think.
Yeah. Not a lot. Yeah. Honestly, the only thing that seemed to like be grabbing me is Tombstone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, his story arc and like Spider-Man's the least interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like they keep it like so they introduced Doc Ock, who doesn't do anything.
Oh, did he? I fell asleep on that. Sorry. I didn't see
that.
Doc
Ock is supplying all the weapons to everybody, or all the weapon tech, all the villains. He doesn't do anything, and they're just setting up shit. I don't know. And now we're 5 episodes in.
Eli, I'll be honest with you. To me, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till we see what happened. But I think the show was a miss.
Like you're right. Lonnie's story arc is the only thing that's interesting to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider-Man don't care, like that. Like that's then you said about Doctor. I fell asleep on that. You know what's funny? That one he fought. Who's that? The chick with the eye beam and shit like that.
Oh yeah, the unicorn or whatever.
Yeah. So Unicorn is a dude in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So the typical people were pissed off.
Oh, of course, I'm sure.
Hashtag not my unicorn. Like, who the fuck cares about unicorn?
Yeah, who the fuck? Yeah.
Like, shit. You mad about
Yeah.
somebody you never heard of until you
Yeah,
saw
sitting there
TikTok about
clutching your unicorn figure.
it. Right.
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Right. It's hilarious at this point, man. Y'all are trying too hard. You Richard stretching, you know. Segue.
Ooh, nice one.
You see.
Nothing but air. Yeah.
Swish. Okay. All right. So what we're going to talk about now, we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four trailer. It dropped. Now, the Thunderbolts trailer did drop, but I don't care. Sorry.
Where's the second one?
The second one. I didn't watch the first one, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Oh.
I didn't.
All right.
I just know some people showed up. That's all. So that's cool. But we're gonna talk about Fantastic Four because Fantastic Four is one of the movies I've been waiting for. I've been anticipating this year, just like I've been waiting for Superman. I'm waiting for Fantastic Four to see what Marvel can do with the show. You know. So boom, what we got here? We actually got a full trailer of it. Eli posted it before I did. That's how I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
I was awake. You
was awake. I'm like,
and they were doing a countdown they were doing like a live countdown.
Because I was about to share the link, and I saw posted by Eli. Like, damn, he beat me to it. Like, damn.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I happened to wake up, and I was awake, and I saw that they were doing the live launch, a countdown, an hour, and they had interviews with the cast, and they actually did a countdown to the 10, 9, 8 countdown to the trailer, and yeah.
And so Eli, I'm gonna let you give your opinion, but I gotta say some stuff first.
Okay.
Now, from what I saw from the trailer of Fantastic Four, I thought this trailer was perfect. I mean, for a Fantastic Four movie of what I thought they should do with the movie and capturing the tone of it, I don't think you can make it any more perfect than this as far as the trailer. I have one little bitty complaint, and it's honestly, I might be over it by the end. The Thing's voice. That's it.
Me too. That's my thing. That was my only gripe.
I had with it. And that's only because I'm so used to that gravelly voice. And even before then, just the way I read him in the comics, he sounds like he should be more gravelly, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have like a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah,
you know, he's from Yancey.
I was hoping he dropped, you know, I put that on Yancey Street or something, you know.
Yeah.
Aunt Petunia. He didn't give me any of that. Smoke a cigar. He didn't give me any of that. But you know what? That's so.
It's clobbering time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's so nitpicky at that point. I'm like, I'm gonna let that go, man, because I mean, here's the thing about Eli. We are so spoiled nowadays. Look at him. This is perfect. People are complaining about this. It's not a whole lot, but how can you complain about this?
I have no problem with his look. I think he looks great.
He looks like an Alex Ross painting come to life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know what people are expecting. Like, you got the unibrow thing going right there. People are like, well, he's wearing a suit. He needs to be all right. Hey, shut the fuck up.
He needs to be naked.
Yes, I mean, it'd be cool, but this looks great. I don't know, man. People just like
I want to see rock dick.
Right. Like, let it go, man. So I think you can, honestly, this is as perfect as you can get. Now, can I complain about one more other thing?
Go ahead.
Okay. Galactus. Now, I don't know where. No. And hear me out first. Galactus is great. He looks awesome. All I'm saying is that, is it too early for Galactus? Is it almost feel like they're making a trilogy in one movie? Because it's Marvel, the machine got to speed this shit up as fast as possible.
Wow. I mean,
You know,
do we want to wait 5 movies to see Galactus? Or
yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like, yes,
I
mean,
if we got Secret Wars coming out like in 2 years or something,
we got to get this ball on the road. I know what you're saying. Got to get the show on the road, man. We can't sit around wait for this shit. So yeah, I get it. You got to give us Galactus.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
I know, man, but it's like I would have been fine with the Mole Man movie in the first, movie, and then elevate to, I know, man. I know they got to throw Doctor Doom and Galactus and all these other motherfuckers in here because we got to get this shit going before Secret War. It just feel like, are they giving us a trilogy in one movie? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm here for it. I don't.
That's more nitpicking. That's more first world problems. That's it. Like I said, this trailer to me is perfect.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm not going to complain about seeing Galactus.
and he looks. That's what I'm saying. So what am I complaining about?
So, yeah,
And no, they didn't give us this. Now,
yeah, he's not a black hole. Yeah.
Okay, for the last time, that is not Galactus. Galactus is in the cloud. He is not the cloud. They said it in the DVD director's commentary. Yes, Eli, I listened to it.
No shit. Well, God bless you.
Are you, Eli, I mean, come on, that sounds like some Leroy shit to do. So yeah. So yes, I did that. And another thing about this, I'm tired of y'all bashing those old movies, man. Those movies got us where we needed to be at. They were not bad movies. They were fun, entertaining movies to me. I know everybody wanted to trash them because it's the fun thing to do. No, they weren't Spider-Man. No, they weren't X-Men at the time, but they were fun. That's all they needed to be, at the time. And another thing, and now, am I biased a little bit because of, maybe, Now, I know it's Black History Month, and I know we ban white women. Like I said, and I'm also know we banning Latinas on here also, Eli. So just remember that I didn't say that last so you know that now.
I ain't saying nothing.
Okay, just saying. That's the rule. You got 2 more weeks, Eli, and then feel free, but that's all my thing. They were fun movies, man, and people are comparing them between each other, and it's all be fun. Hell, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised when we do get Secret Wars. All those old people come back anyway.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, they probably will. I mean, everybody's coming back. So yeah.
Yeah. Fan force stick, all that shit.
No, they can stay gone. They can stay gone. Exactly. His voice would be more gravelly. Like I said, I wish it was, and they may fix it in post. I mean, like I said, we got 6 months for the movie came out. They may put some kind of.
He was cooking.
Yeah,
he was cooking. I mean, yeah. I mean, does he? Yeah. I have a. That was my only issue too. I wish Ben had a more a rougher voice.
Mm-hmm.
He did sound like Tina from Bob's Burgers in a way.
Yeah.
It's clobbering time. But who knows? Maybe when he gets mad, that voice will come out.
Yeah. Or maybe he will be gravelly when the voice comes out because all you got to do is put an effect on his voice. That's it.
Yeah. Once he gets pissed off, he might, maybe that was his public voice, his radio voice, and then
Maybe we'll have to see. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. Everything I'm saying is just nitpicky stuff. Anybody bashing this trailer, I don't know what you expect for. And here's the thing. The thing about Fantastic Four is a key word. Fantastic. It has to be fantastic. It has to be balls to the wall, batshit insane. You can't real world Fantastic Four. It don't work. You can't Nolanize this shit. Everything don't need to be that. That's why I'm excited for Fantastic Four just going all 60s balls to the wall, Silver Age shit. Just like I'm excited for the Superman movie, which is also going balls deep into Silver Age shit. Sometimes you escape. This is supposed to be larger than life, fantastical shit, fantasy shit.
It's pretty much a product of its time. It came out in the 60s. Right. America just went to space. They had just gone to the moon. This is pretty much about a family that goes into space and gets superpowers. That's the idea. That's the premise. So if that's not your cup of tea, watch something else.
Now here's the thing. The Fantastic Four first comic, when Stan Lee and Red Kirby wrote, I'm going to tell you the origin of the Fantastic Four. They stole a spaceship and wanted to be the first people in space because this predates even Russia going to space or mission to Mars. Right. I mean, I'm sorry, mission to the moon. It predates all that. So they wanted to be the first people in space. It was all about the space race. That's how they get the powers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So still thought the moon was made of cheese and shit.
You got to live in that world to make it make sense. Have you seen? But the pictures saw it looks great. I haven't seen it. What I mean, nobody's
spicy tobacco or Tabasco's back. Yeah,
Tabasco. What it do? We got your name. Spicy Tabasco. Did he say he hasn't seen it yet? What Fantastic Four? I mean, it's not out yet.
I think he means the trailer.
Oh, okay. You should watch the trailer, Spicy. Don't leave like the other guy did. I mean, you can watch it after we're done. So that's all we got. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
All right, Eli. You ready to talk about sports?
I guess.
Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. No, I mean
No,
the
I mean,
oh,
the
got it.
trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should check it out. It's quick, or unless you don't want to spoil yourself, then I understand that. Okay.
It's a lot
Here's
of
the
here's another. Did Reed seem a little nerdy to you?
not really.
He
No,
seemed like a little Poindexter-ish, which I guess kind of fits if he's like the world's.
no. Actually, I don't see Reed like that. I don't see Reed as like this Poindexter dude. I see Reed as this alpha male dad dude, and I think anytime they make him like this Poindexter nerd dude, like he was in those old movies, like the Jessica Alba movies, that's miscasting the character. That's the wrong. I think.
When he first showed up, and this is where we have dinner, and this is where we blah blah blah. Same time, he sounded a little.
I think he was riding that line between nerd Poindexter and patriarchy figure. I think he was riding.
Yeah, you're right. Reed is an asshole. Like,
that's how he's supposed to be an asshole. Yeah,
he's an arrogant. He's an arrogant asshole.
Male shit they had him in the old movies. That's not Reed. That's me. So yeah. So all right. All right. Now we're gonna talk about sports. Sorry, some of y'all gonna care. Some of y'all not gonna care. But we're gonna talk about it anyway. So anybody that have been living under a rock, there's been a trade in the NBA happened. That is the biggest. I think is like the biggest, weirdest, dumbest trade in sports history, professional sports history. Not just NBA, football, baseball, whatever. So Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis made a trade, and this trade is so ridiculous and so absurd. You can't even do the trade on NBA 2K because they say it's so off balance. The video game won't let you do it. And real life, they did it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, for Eli, for what you don't know, here it is. This is Luka Doncic. Now, I know he don't look like it. Luka's a bad motherfucker. Like, he may be, in my opinion, one of the top 3 best basketball players on the planet right now. Like, he's known worldwide, stuff like that. And they just dumped this guy for nothing, really. They just got rid of him. Everybody's like, what the hell's going on? Why did you get rid of him? And who is responsible for this? This guy, Nico Harrison. That's the guy you can point at. That's the guy everybody's looking for right now. Matter of fact, people are so pissed at him, he had to hire 24-hour security in Dallas because people want to have a conversation on why they got rid of the 3rd best player on the planet for nothing. Now, you know what their excuse why they did it? Now, people have a lot of things going on. They saying, oh, it may be collusion, maybe conspiracy. He's trying to dump the team's stock on purpose so they can move to Vegas, whatever like that. But the excuse that they give is Luka getting fat. That's what it is. So since he's getting fat, they decided to get rid of the team. And that's when social media that don't pay attention to this shit is interrupting our sports talk and shit like that. Because now they're saying that they're fat shaming. They shouldn't talk about him like that. He's still beautiful. Like, no, don't bring the politics bullshit into sports. Keep that shit over there. This is Luka, not Lizzo. So stay your ass over there. Yes, we understand that yes, maybe they should be worried different than he's getting fat, But in sports, you have to be in shape. He is not a telemarketer. He is not a podcaster. He is a professional athlete. So yes, he has to stay in shape because the better he stays in shape, the faster he is on defense, the less he gets injured, and the more stamina he has. So when he goes deep in the playoffs, he can stay in there instead of last year when you can clearly tell he ran out of gas. Eli, on the offseason, when this guy is not playing basketball, all he does is drink beer and smoke hookah. That's it. And each season he comes in the training camp even fatter than he was the last year before. Now, that being said, even as fat as he is, he's still one of the 3rd best people on the planet. So even being fat isn't really an excuse why they got rid of him. So it doesn't really make any sense. But I just don't like it how people are sticking their nose into our business. Keep your politics out of our sports. But at the end of the day, sports about winning. Don't matter what you look like, or who you voted for, what you like to do behind the sheets or in the bed. None of that shit matters. What do you do on the court, on the field, with the ball in hand? That's all that matters. So that's all I want to say. I'm done.
Right on.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let's go to callers. Let's see what we got. All right. Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, I get it. Luka don't play defense. Yes. They did something with James Harden and every day was all for it. Yeah, they had to get rid of James Harden. He don't play defense anyway. And plus, he got fat too. So, but he got fat on purpose to get traded. So yeah. And I get it. Luka don't play defense. Luka never played defense. So now it makes sense why they got rid of him. Okay.
But you still got to run. I mean, basketball is a busy game.
You still got to run. Yes, you still got to run. You got to run up and down the court and stuff like that. But yeah, actually, honestly, Von Foyle made a good point. He's actually making good points on why they got rid of him, because since he is getting fat, he's getting slower running up and down the court like he's supposed to. He don't defend play like he's supposed to. So
can't lift his arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I hate it, but yeah, it makes sense. Okay. I'm not as mad as I was before. Thank you, Von Foyle. I'm not as mad as I was a second ago.
Maybe
okay.
if he was lifting, if you lift those arms the way you lift those burgers.
That's what they said. They had to get him out of Texas, man, because there's too many barbecue places there. So yeah. Oh, he look like he's like that, but it's the truth. It's the truth, man. But yeah. All right, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
All right, we're here, Eli. All right, this is Comic Book Bullies. We're talking about comic books. We're gonna jump into it. Hold up, I'm gonna see what Von Foyle got for us. Who did y'all cheer for today? I was hoping they both lose.
I can't stand both teams. I really did. I did not. I didn't even watch the game. I didn't even find out who won until like an hour ago. And I did find, I am glad the Chiefs lost. Like, I'm native, so naturally I can't like them. But I really don't like them anyways. And then I'm also like from New York, so I don't like Philly. so I really didn't care.
Eli is not a Swiftie.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But if I had to choose, I would have chose, Philly.
And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't care. I'm kind of glad.
But I didn't watch the game though. I didn't watch the game.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not really a football fan, so I'm kind of glad football is over, so I can stop having these awkward conversations with my coworkers. Everybody, yeah, they just come up to me. What's your team gonna do today? Who's my team again? I don't know.
Fuck Kansas City.
And then they keep naming play like what's his name, Saquon Barkley and shit. I just figured out who that was last week. So people keep saying his name like I don't know who that is. I'm sorry,
from Philly.
I guess I don't know. Look, this is a comic book podcast. I don't know football. I know the people that keep asking me questions don't know about football, but I don't know football. I'm sorry. So stop asking me questions.
And I watched I'm a Vikings fan, so.
Right?
And that's all I know. Like I just watched the Vikings. That's all I know. I'm not.
Yes, you ask me about any other player or any other team. I don't know them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unless they was in some kind of commercial or in some kind of 80s action movie, I don't know who they are.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, comics. Let's talk about comics. All right. Eli, I think we should divvy this up because I know you gave me the list, but I can't remember what the list was. But I'll let you divvy up.
I got two. I got two.
You got three.
Do I? How do I?
I'm gonna give you one.
Why?
Because I got too many books.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you Absolute Superman.
Oh, no shit.
I read it, but I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay. All right. Well. Now I got to prepare. Let me prepare for that one.
Okay.
I'll do Legacy of Vader first.
Okay. What are you channeling Henry Cavill or some shit before you do?
Well, no, I got to pull that up. I mean, I want to
No, Marlon Brando. He could be a great people killer. If you
I got to gather my thoughts because I wasn't prepared to do Absolute Superman.
Oh, okay.
Because you're the Superman guy.
I am, and I should be doing it, but I can't do it. I'm gonna tell you why I can't do it. It'll make sense why I can't do it, but yeah.
All right. I'll do Legacy of Vader just to get this over with and get you set up.
No. I want to hear about this. I want to hear about you. You got to fly through this.
Yeah. Well, this is just okay. This is Legacy of Vader, #1. It's a Kylo Ren book.
Yeah, because he's on the cover. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so it's about Kylo Ren, and I guess it takes place between Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, a time period I don't care about. So
a lot of shit went down in between him. I guess he was like, hunting people or some shit.
Yeah, I guess. But so this right after the end. This takes place right after the ending of The Last Jedi, where Luke.
I'm sorry, I mean to stop because I think they say he was living in Mustafar.
He was, yeah, and that's what he does. That's where he goes. He goes. That's basically the book. He goes to Mustafar.
He's a fanboy. Of course, he's gonna go there. So yeah.
Yeah, he goes to Mustafar. Yeah, it's right after events of Last Jedi. He's now the supreme leader. Now he's taken over the fleet, and now he goes. He's trying to find out, how to be the baddest Sith of all time, and he figures I'm gonna go study and go to Mustafar and see what I can learn from my old granddad. And so he does. He goes to Mustafar. He goes to Castle Vader, and because of his DNA, he can only get in with Vader's DNA, and then there's a servant there who served Vader. It's like, oh, you must be related to Vader.
You got Skywalker bloodline.
Yeah, yeah, and well, I will teach you, and that's basically it. He just goes there and goes to Mustafar, and that's about it.
Eli, you selling me on this book, man.
Okay, well, that's all that happens. I mean, I was more interested in. I want to know why he turned. They don't really explain.
That would be before. That would
have been before this, and that's what I'm interested in. What made? I know they kind of loosely base, Luke, felt guilty about pushing him away because he was being aggressive. But why? Why? Where did that come from? What was the? All it just says is he was tired of his family's legacy and he wanted to be more powerful. He just desired power. So I guess that I would like to learn more about, Luke's Jedi Academy than this era. But that's just me. I thought this was just fine. It was just filler. Yeah. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I don't know if I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
You can by all means.
No. Just like I got Superman, you got Star Wars. So yeah. And plus one of the banned topics. But I will say this. It does feel like Disney is dragging their feet on fleshing out the new trilogy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, with the prequels, you had the Clone Wars and blah, 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 and all stuff like that. But where's the supplementary media surrounding the sequels?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really have that. They don't really have that. There really hasn't been a show that addresses this other than was that Resistance, which I never watched that.
So okay, so Resistance was about
was leading up to the prequel trilogy. I think it takes place before The Force Awakens. I think it has Poe. Poe is in that show.
Yeah.
Leading up to the Resistance, So yeah, there isn't. We don't have like a Clone Wars or a show that is in the sequel trilogy era.
Right. Like everything's about like the main, original trilogy, but anything past that, they're scared to shy away from it, or even have something that bridges the original trilogy to the sequels, like something like that, like something between.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well, they do have that's what Mando takes place between Return of the Jedi and all that Ahsoka shit.
But is it bridging the gap?
It still doesn't lead up to like Rey or where any of that stuff.
Or even Poe, because didn't they say like his parents were in the Resistance or whatever?
Well, was it Ahsoka? Was it somebody like it was like I think one like his parents were on like Ahsoka or something like that. Or even Ahsoka, but Ahsoka, they went to that other galaxy where Thrawn is at. So that's taking place. That's almost like a separate canon because they're in a different galaxy.
Right. It's like they're doing their own thing, but it's not bridging the gap.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, as far as Resistance is the only thing that takes place between, that leads up to the prequel or the sequel trilogy that has characters, from the prequel or the sequel.
I think that's so weird. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, people bitched.
Well, yeah, I guess
people bitched, and now they've been sitting on it. I mean, they were supposed to come out with a lot of shit, and that they're not.
That is true. Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was just okay. Not much happens other than it's just kind of like the first half of the book is just kind of recapping what Kylo Ren's character and his shit, and and then we spend the last half of him going to Mustafar. Then he gets to Mustafar, and now he's going to start learning shit. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was just it was a light week. So I this was just like a spur of the I'll check this out. So I haven't read a Star Wars book in a while. So
that is true. I didn't even know you were going to even read this. I'm like, okay, Let me see what's going on.
It was a light week, so I just fuck it, I'll check this out. So.
Okay,
that's why.
All right. So this week I read a shitload of Luke Cage comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first one I read was Ultimates number 9, I guess.
Yeah, talk
So
about that.
Luke Cage in the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
they're
he
gonna
white?
show. No, they didn't go that far. No, it's so basically, like I said, he's joining the Ultimates to kind of show how he cat this point. So yeah, they're gonna get to it. It's kind of it's a very confusing toy. They tell it out of order, but we'll just get to it and see what we got. So the book starts off with in Seagate 2005, and Luke Cage is 15 years old, and he's saying, I don't even know why I'm locked up, because in the 616, Luke Cage wasn't in his teenage when he locked it. So I almost imagine that the maker did some bullshit to put him in jail or some shit. You know, he was like, don't worry about it. You'll be here for a year, man. You be here for a year, you be out, don't worry about it, because you're 15, you're a teenager. These charges won't stick. And I'm like, okay, cool, I trust you. Fast forward 20 years later, he's still in prison. But he's in another prison called Gordium Correctional Facility. He's there. He goes around, meets everybody. It's like a high-tech facility and stuff like that, you know. And then you fast forward him to Seagate getting the shit kicked out of him. He's pretty much, anytime you show him in Seagate, he just getting the shit kicked out of him constantly. He decides to work out, train. Not only work out and train, he decides to like read books, get smart. Bam. And then he meets in Gordium Facility, he meets Danny Rand. You're like,
Oh,
Danny Rand's in prison. How'd he get there?
he's
They
in
don't
prison
say.
too.
Yeah. Just happened to be there. He was like, hey, I'm Danny. Hey, I'm Luke. Hey, let's be cool. Okay. So they
I
just
like you and I won't you.
who's the bitch and who's the puss?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Oh shit. All right. So yeah, like I said, he's in prison reading, you know, gaining knowledge of self, you know, reading all like that. So not only he's big and strong, he's also super smart because he's well read. So yeah. And then while he's in prison, he's talking to Danny Rand, this and playing just like that. And he's basically telling him all the stuff that he read. You know, he's laying it on him. You know, man, prison is like modern day slavery. You know, he's laying it all so like the man want to put you here. But the thing is, the outside world is just like slavery. Also, the only difference is inside it's maximum security, but on the outside it's minimum security. So we gotta find a way to protect ourselves. And the more he's talking, you know, talking everybody up, the more and more people start gathering around to him. So he's kind of, you see more people starting to put around him. He's like, see, it ain't about color, man. It ain't about justice or the law. It's all about power, man. Get it? Get it?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So they keep kicking. So basically, they just kicking the shit out of more and more, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, fast forward all this shit. Anyway, so he where we go right here. Yeah, so he finally gets the thing from Tony Stark. You know, that thing that he got to get that orb or whatever like that. He wakes up, he got the orb. And Tony Stark gives the same speech he gives to every other superhero. They took your life from you. You got this new life. Why don't you show up for your life? Whatever like that. Take the power back and stuff, you know, like that. Anyway, he's going to plan a riot. And he's going to basically break everybody out of here, you know. And what else we got? Yeah, so he's talking to Tony Stark saying he took your life from you. Don't you want your life back? Don't you want your power? You just take this thing, you have all the powers that you would that the maker took from you, and he gets his power. And boom, he was like, okay, so you ready? You ready to come to join the Ultimates? You're like, nah, man, I'm better off on the inside than on the outside. So instead of joining the Ultimates, he just goes from prison to prison, breaking people out. And while he trying to stage a riot or coup, they knew he was staging right the whole time. So since they were like, the rule is if you try to break out of prison, well, we got to put you in front of a firing squad. So, and I love my job. So Luke Cage like, okay, fire away. So they unleash every single bullet they can on him. And of course, you know what happens? Nothing. It just bounces off his skin. He was like, now it's my turn, you know. And then they really cause a riot. He breaks out of Seagate. He breaks out of Gordium. He takes Danny Rand with him, starts beating the shit out of everybody. And you got this whole thing where he says, power to the people, you know, because he's trying to give power to the people, you know. And yeah, and then you got this thing where She-Hulk's talking to Tony Stark because he still got fucked up by, you know, Iron Immortal Hulk or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And at the very last panel, of course, you know what happens. Tony Stark eyes open up. Now, yeah. So he wasn't dead. Yeah. So I get it. It was heavy-handed, but like I said, we complained about it when we did the Hawkeye book. Eli, we know that this writer is heavy-handed, And I get that he was comparing prison to slavery because he basically turned Luke Cage into Harriet Tubman. He going from prison to prison, breaking people out. So
Okay, yeah,
I get it.
Go.
Yeah. So, what else I get here? We're supposed to be brothers. Shout out to Bob Poirier. Shout out to Spicy Tabasco also. He left, but I'm pretty sure he's already gone by now. But yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Like I said, this writer is heavy-handed with his themes and stuff like that. Did I hate it? No. I get what he was going with it. I know he was comparing and doing everything he can to compare slavery to prison because, like I said, Eli, we never really got into it about profit prisons, things like that, how they use prison for cheap labor. Like I said, when Hollywood was burning down, LA was burning down, they were using prison labor as firemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can get all this stuff like that, but that's where they were going with the man, So yeah. We'll see what he got. So overall, 3 point. I'm gonna give it a 3.55 only because I didn't like how it was told out of order. That's all. I thought it was confusing out of order. I had to read it twice to see what the hell was going on. Other than that, it was just a story. So that's cool. So what you got?
Well, I guess I'll do Absolute Superman.
Here we go. Okay, have you channeled Marlon Brando yet? Have you channeled Jor-El?
From Planet Krypton.
You can save her, Kal-El. You can save all of them. That was Russell Crowe. My fault. My bad.
All right. So yeah, Absolute Superman, the absolute universe where Darkseid has reformed a universe in his image or whatever.
In his image, yep.
And so starts out. Lois Lane is interviewing all these people from she's going around. She's searching for Superman.
Well, I think all those guys. I think all those people are in prison. I think they catch them, all of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's but she works for the Peacemakers or Lazarus, the Lazarus Corps.
Yeah.
She's an agent for Lazarus, and she leads the Peacemakers, and they've been going around basically causing havoc all over the world. They're supposed to be like a Peace Corps, but they're basically a fascist regime. And
I know you got that. Old boy spoke Lakota.
Oh yeah, I got.
Okay, I'll try to make sure.
I was about to post that shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Superman finally made it to the res.
Why don't Superman ever come to the hood? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she's going around interviewing all these people who have seen Superman, who have witnessed Superman do shit, have saved them in some form of another. And they basically all are waiting. They're basically protecting them. They don't want us to talk, but they're all basically thinking at some point they're waiting for Superman to get pissed off and get vengeance for them.
And go after them, yeah.
And go after them, and go after Lazarus. And she also noticed they all have the same wound, and they all been stabbed by one of the Peacemaker guys. And so she goes and beats the shit out of them. And then she's like, so while she's searching the globe for Superman, she gets to talk to her dad, General Lane.
Who looks exactly like Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. He's no longer injured. I mean, he's no longer the general. He's been injured in battle. And she's basically saying, yeah, I'm trying to find this guy, And then she goes to another place, I think someplace in Africa. And the Omega Men are there. There's some sort of
thing. They're a thing.
Yeah, they are like a revolutionary rebel army, guerrilla group. And then there's this guy getting AI therapy. There's a Peacemaker guy getting AI therapy. He's the one who slaughtered all those mine workers back in issue 1 or 2 or whatever it was, a few issues ago.
Yeah.
But he feels guilty about it. And he basically doesn't want to be in the Peacemaker Corps anymore. But the AI is just like, oh, your weapon malfunctioned. Okay, we'll get you a new weapon. And you go right back to work. He's like, no, I don't want, I want to quit, basically. Yeah, well, thank you for your service. You're back on active duty. So AI therapy.
Because they really don't care about these people, but yeah.
Yeah, so then she goes and finds Jimmy Olsen, who's basically part of this Omega Men army.
But he's like the lowest rank Omega Man you can be, but yeah.
Yeah. and she's like, he's trying to convince her, like, yo, you got to know what your part, what Lazarus is doing. They're like basically this fascist regime. You're on the wrong side. He's basically convincing Lois to like join to
trying to radicalize.
Yeah. And they basically get into a little scuffle to show off their fighting skills, and then Omega Prime, some chick in a mask, we don't know who it is yet,
but she knows Lois.
But she knows Lois, so I'm sure it's somebody. Is it Lana Lane? Wasn't she redhead?
Yeah.
So, but this chick's got brunette hair, so who knows who she is? Is it gonna be Mercy? I don't know. But anyways, they fight and they stay. There's a shootout, and then a bunch of Peacemaker. We need agent getting shot at, so the Peacemaker Corps comes in, and
because the Brainiac AI alerted them.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything, but she was like, "You get shot at, go save her." Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't call for backup, but the Brainiac AI said, "Come on, hey, agent getting shot at, go engage
and use lethal force."
And use lethal force. And she even said, "That's right." She said, "Use non-lethal bullets."
Right.
And armed incendiary rounds, armed or whatever. He's like, no. So then she's fighting the Omega Prime chick, and then Superman shows up with his Spawn cape, and then he freezes all the Peace Corps Peacemaker guys.
Oh, and his Spawn cape like blows away everybody but Lois.
Yeah, and basically, and he takes off. Jimmy goes back with Omega Prime, and she's like, "You can't trust her." Blah blah blah. She's not as bad as you think. So they have a conversation. We need to radicalize. Yeah, Lois Lane, and then finally the Omega guy, or not the Omega guys, the Peacemaker guys, they get thawed out, and then the one guy end up slaughtering all the witnesses there.
Right. Said he just lost it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next is the Rage of Superman.
Yeah, because he found all those dead bodies. He's probably gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought this was great. This is probably the best issue of this series so far.
With minimum Superman in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way it was told. I like the interviews, how it went back and forth to interviews, and then when he finally shows up, he just like blows everybody, he freezes everybody. Yeah, this is can I say my book of the week?
Book of the week? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I really dug on this. This is the best issue of the series so far. And then Jason Aaron, is he going to turn Superman into Conan? Just a pissed off.
I mean, if you do that, it kind of it's the exact opposite of Superman. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but there's like the rage. He's going to get vengeance. We're going to, Superman takes his vengeance. So I just think that's a cool idea. But no, I thought this was great. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. This was my book.
And Superman does have those, moral conflicts also. Like, I think one time he ran up on like a child molester, and he was thinking like, I should just heat vision this motherfucker right now. He had to stop everything he could just to not do it.
Well, he's also young. This is he's just out of his teens. Right. This is the younger Superman. So he's
he's still learning all this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably aggro and pissed off and a little emo, and
But that's with that much power, Superman has to keep himself in check.
Yeah, he has to rein him.
He's not invincible. So.
There needs to be the motivation that makes him care about humanity. In the old canon, it was his parents.
Right.
Growing up on the farm.
So,
growing up on the farm made him care about humanity and how fragile life is. Right now, we don't know that. What is that motivation? We don't know.
And I'm pretty sure Jason Aaron already thought of this. I know he's going to give us some motivation. We just hadn't gotten there yet. So
yeah, or maybe he's just going to say vengeance isn't the way. I don't know. But either way, I like that. I like that threat. I like the idea of, okay, this could be a pissed off, brooding Superman. That basically, or is he turning Superman into Bruce Wayne?
Maybe. Like I said, this is Darkseid's world, so yeah.
Yeah, starting out as a psychopath and then has to realize, hey, hold on, I'm crazy. I can't be crazy.
Right, like Dalabexos.
Yeah, so no, this is great. I really dug this. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, my second Luke Cage comic of the night. The whole book, the whole night is Luke Cage. Just let you know.
Just Luke Cage Day.
Luke Cage Day. I don't know why it's just like Luke Cage would just flood my timeline. So yeah. So the next book, and I don't know if you heard about this, Eli, is Powerless. No, is it Timeless or Powerless or what the fuck is it? Timeless. Power Man Timeless. Have you heard about this book?
No.
Okay. So it's a alternate future timeline where Luke Cage at the end of the universe has the power of Sentry, Iron Fist, and the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's the book. Apparently, this has already been a thing. He's popped up before, but now he's got like an ongoing series. So this is the beginning of his ongoing series. And I was just like, well, fuck it. Let's see. If we got an OP Luke Cage, let's see where that goes. Like I say, he's not Luke Cage. He just calls himself Power Man now. That's the Oh, and he's got this white Santa gray beard too.
Okay.
For reasons. So,
Old man Luke.
Old man Luke, yeah. All right. So the book starts off with him. Okay, so somehow he time traveled back into the 616. Like he's from an alternate or future timeline, but he's back in regular time now also. And you got this narrator, like, and you got this narration, like, why is Luke Cage here? Why is he back in his timeline? And then he says to the narrator, like, why do you think I'm here? I'm here to kill Iron Fist. So apparently in his timeline, Iron Fist became Moon Knight. So, and destroy the universe or some shit.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's why he's here now, to go back in time and kill him before he can do that shit. So he goes to Earth to find him. And he, like I said, it's 616, regular prime time. And where does he find Danny Rand? Dead. What killed him? I don't know. So Danny Rand is dead in the 616. So don't look for him. All the people are there at his funeral. He's there. He's like, damn. So obviously he realized this isn't his timeline. This is regular plain Jane Luke Cage, 616 Luke Cage with Jessica Jones and his daughter. He's like, man, I'm gonna miss my friend, because the other Power Man, he hated Danny Rand. He was like, that dude trashed the universe. So he realized since Danny Rand is dead at his funeral, where his future isn't going to happen anyway. So they're like, fuck it, I just leave and I just won't talk to anybody here and disrupt the timeline. So he just goes off into space, just doing his space thing, and that narrator keeps talking to him and shit like that. And that's when we realize that the narrator is the Void. For those who don't know who the Void is or what the Void is like the evil version of the Sentry. Every good thing Sentry does, Void do the bad shit. So not only does Luke Cage have all of those heroes' powers, he got all of their issues and psycho shit also. So yeah. So he just flies off and he hears something from deep space, that's something going on in Jupiter. So he decides to fly to Jupiter, see what's going on, like, help. So he goes and help. And as soon as he get there, he sees some chick just running away from him. So he decides to follow behind and see what's going on. And boom, he gets smacked in the back of the head. So yes, there's something out there strong enough to smack him in the back of the head and knock him down to one of the moons. They're like, who the fuck did that shit? And he looks up and it is this big bad guy calling himself Aeon the Knife, or Eon the Knife, or whatever. He just the Knife or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, well, that ain't a good reason. So he was like, so what? Why are you here? He was like, I kill because I can. I'm the strongest thing in the universe, and anything that gets in my way must die. He was like, okay, well, that's gonna happen. Let's go. And then he get into a fight, and you hear the narration just like, is Luke Cage gonna beat this? Is this finally gonna be the day that Luke Cage die because he fights against a stronger guy to him? And that's when Luke Cage said, Void, shut the fuck up. And you can see him getting ready to Hulk out with the Iron Fist hand, and he punches the shit at this guy with the Iron Hulk Fist hand and knocks him, across the moon and shit like that. And then the guy just stands up, he's like, hell yeah, I'm glad I got out of bed this morning. Yeah, finally somebody worthy of my time. He was like, come on, villain, come on, let's hit me again. He was like, fine, let's go. So then they rush at each other with this Dragon Ball Z Ninja Gaiden power move, and boom, there's a big explosion, and then you see Eon the Knight says, well, that was a fun fight, but this fight's over. And Luke Cage like, what? And then as soon as Luke Cage says that, he sees the top of his head get split apart with the rest of his body. Dead. Damn. Yeah. So you know what happens when he dies? He goes to the green door.
Oh, shit. No shit.
Yeah, because he's a Hulk. So he just resurrects and he wakes up in this weird place of like that, because as she was like, yeah, you went through the green door. I'm glad you got their power to resurrect yourself. So technically Luke Cage can't die, And the chick calls herself Ever, but she's like Eversight or Ever. Eversight. Excuse me. The Eversight is what she calls herself. So she's just like, well, we're here in this thing that no human from Earth has ever seen. And it's called the Celestial Heart. That's what she's at right now. So, and like, you have to protect this thing, because if you don't, that dude Eon the Knife's gonna come out and destroy the Celestial Heart. Destroy the Celestial Heart. We're gonna have problems. And Luke Cage is like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because you don't want a hitman for hire. You don't want a hero for hire. You want a hitman, and I'm done doing that. I'm done doing anything you want. So she's like, well, fine. If you don't, then we're all gonna die. And that's when Eon the Knife shows back up and cuts that heart in half. And not only cuts it in half, he sliced it all up and shit, like in little bit pieces. So that's when Luke Cage realized he got to really tap into his power that he was scared to use. And that's when he hulks out, completely hulks out with Iron Fist powers and Sentry powers. And he goes to this dude because he realized, if I don't take this guy full power, we got problems. So you got Incredible Hulk, Luke Cage versus Eon the Knife. The end.
Oh,
or to be continued. To be continued. It's 5 months.
With
So that's
Sentry
why
powers?
Yeah, he's got Sentry powers also, but he's scared to tap into Sentry powers because of the Void. If he does this shit, then crazy shit might happen. So yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. So like I said, he's got Incredible Hulk, Iron Fist powers, and he can't die because he just goes to the Green Door and come back, even if you do kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's got Luke Cage powers. So yeah. So I just want to see an OP Luke Cage thing that's right there. So yeah. So 4 to 5. I might keep up with it, might not. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. All right. So what you got next?
Yeah, my last book I'll do is Bronze Faces #1.
Now you told me to read this, but I don't know what this is.
Yeah. So this is Boom Studios, indie book, and it's about this group of Nigerians, Nigerians in Britain, who go and steal their father's traditional masks from the British Museum.
Yeah, from the British Museum. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, so they're Nigerians. They're immigrants living in the UK. Their father was like this artist who made these traditional Nigerian masks. He dies at some point, and they had all his art in a gallery, and now the British Museum is going to come and basically buy them and take them. But I think the daughter, who was living in Nigeria, basically came and said, the Nigerian government will match the price just so we can keep these masks. These are my father's masks. They're traditional. They're important to our culture. We'd like to keep them, but the museum's like, no, actually, according to some museum act of 19 whatever, they are property of the museum, and we will keep them, and blah blah. And they'll be part of our collection and our archives and all that shit. So yeah, and I think one of the brother owes money and all this shit. So they end up deciding we're just going to rob them. We're just going to rob them and take them back. So they do. They break into the gallery one night and take them. And when they get back, they find out that in the midst of the heist, one of them grabbed like a list, some sort of traditional Nigerian. It was sealed. So it was an old list from like the 1800s or whatever. And they break it open, and it's a list of all the artifacts that is in the British archive at the museum. All these old traditional artifacts. And so they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go take them back. And they end up putting on, so the last panel is pretty cool. They all put on the masks that their dad made. And we're going to go and steal these, take back our culture, basically. We're going to go break into the museum and take back our shit. So yeah, this is really interesting, and yeah, it touches upon themes of colonization and the effects that colonization has on the colonized people, and what it does to their culture, how their culture is ripped away. that's something, indigenous people deal with. We deal, tribes dealing with repatriation, trying to get their artifacts back from the Smithsonian, or even remains of bodies are kept in the museums and stuff. And like that's like a big issue in Native American country, kind of like the whole Killmonger thing in Black Panther.
I mean, that's exactly what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that's a major issue for indigenous tribes too. So that's when I read about this, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So I read it, and it is. It sounds like a lot of fun and very interesting, and touching upon issues of how culture is ripped away from people when they're colonized. Like there's bits of like their father explaining the significance of the masks and the drum and how it just goes. And I'm not familiar with Nigerian culture, but they are going to like Nigerian traditions.
Because these are Nigerian writers, right?
They are. They are Nigerian writers. So I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. That's why I asked if you read it, if you even heard about it.
Never even heard about this, but no, I'm glad you did it. So
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It's an interesting book, and I think I'll stay with it because I as a native, I relate to this. I will live vicariously through this story. And the art's cool. Like the art's very stylized. The light, the layout, it's got some very interesting layouts.
No, I was looking at that too. So
just interesting little.
Like all the characters had like expressions, like over exaggerated expressions on the face. They really stood out. So
and just a commentary on, the effects of colonization and how, things that have happened hundreds of years ago still affect the people today. So, cool shit. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
So, all right, last book I'm going to do is another Luke Cage comic. Well, actually, it's not a Luke Cage comic, but Luke Cage does show up in it. So remember last week we were doing the Black Panther retro book?
Oh, yeah, where he beats up Diddy or whatever.
Yeah, where he beats up Diddy. So we're going to keep that story going. We're going to do part 2 of that story also. Like I said, I'm going to keep that story going.
Diddy or Luke Cage was like the bouncer at the club or some shit? Or no, he was working for Puffy or something.
Yeah, he was Diddy's bouncer at the time, but Diddy fired him because he let Black Panther beat the shit out of him. So, So Black Panther's here to hire him. So like, since you need a job, I'm here to give you a job. But remember, in the last issue, before he could finish the conversation, Ninja showed up.
Oh, is that Shang-Chi on the cover?
That's Shang-Chi on the cover. Yep.
Cool.
Shang-Chi shows up. So
the Marvel Knights book. Oh, shit.
Well, remember, back then, Black Panther was on the Marvel Knights label.
It was the Marvel Knights book.
It was Marvel Knights book.
The Reggie Hudlin, yeah.
With Reggie Hudlin, so All right, so Luke Cage and Black Panther versus a bunch of ninjas. We find out what happened, where those ninjas came from. So the ninjas are here, and the base just like, okay, we're here to take Black Panther with us. Anybody else standing in the way will die. And then, so they're getting the shit kicked out of them. And Black Panther's basically like, who sent you? The Hand? Mandarin? Who's here to get me? And while he's kicking the shit out of them, you got those ninjas going, we need more ninjas. Because Luke Cage and Black Panther just beating the shit out of those guys, just running through them and shit like that. Matter of fact, a whole gang of them just jump on Luke Cage. And while Black Panther is like slamming one of them in the refrigerator, he's like, you need help? He's like, nah, I got this. So he just grabs all of them and just dumps them out of the window, shit like that. Meanwhile, more ninjas are just popping out of nowhere and shit. Dude across the street like that, man, my baby trying to sleep, man. Quit throwing these ninjas out the window, So he look out the window and he see where all these ninjas coming from, and it's this big dragon ship at the very top where all the ninjas just dumping out and stuff like that. He's like, oh, damn, so that's where they're coming from. And then when he gets back in the room to see how Black Panther doing, he sees that his favorite couch is messed up. He's like, hey, man, that's my favorite couch, man. I had Black Cat on that couch. I'm like, Black Cat? Spider-Man's ex-girlfriend? Or current girlfriend? No, so, okay. Yeah. So he had coffee with her. So I hate to be Peter. He had to go behind Luke Cage. So, like I said, they're beating the shit out of him. Dora Milaje's on the outside kicking the shit out of him. But it's too many ninjas. They about to overwhelm and stuff like that. So Black Panther said, okay, we just got to take this fight outside and get some breathing room. So he got 2 swords, jumped down on the bottom of the floor, kicked the ninjas out the room, and he's on top of a Buick just kicking the shit out of ninjas while everybody in the hood just watching Black Panthers whoop the shit out of everybody. It's like, man, I don't know who that dude is, but he nice. He going to work on those ninjas. And while they do that, that big dragon ship jumps down where Luke Cage is in trying to see what's going on, and it just scoops Black Panther up and that Buick and flies off. And while everybody in the hood starts shooting at the dragon ship trying to get Black Panther back, like they're gonna do anything. So yeah, they were like, damn, we can't do anything about that. Then all of a sudden, he was like, hey, what y'all got going on? And it's Falcon. Sam Wilson shows up. He like, yeah, they just kidnapped your buddies. He's like, my buddies? You're like, yeah, don't all y'all hang together? You're like, man, let me find what's going on. So because if nobody don't remember, Falcon is also from Harlem. Nobody remembers that, but yeah. So he flies off trying to see what's going on, try to get them, but he gets blasted by the dragon ship and he just falls down. And meanwhile, the people in the hood looking at Falcon falling, and they look at the Dora Milaje like, hey, don't y'all have powers? Are you gonna save that guy? And they're looking like, no. And they happen to limo just leave. So they go back to the Wakanda embassy. Meanwhile, Falcon kind of wakes up at the last minute. He's like, oh, this looks bad. And right before he hits the ground, he flies up. He's like, oh shit. So he was like, okay, don't worry, I'm gonna go track him and see what's going on. But you don't see Falcon again in this book. Meanwhile, the people in the hood just like, man, you know what we need? We need a black superhero team just like that. He was like, hell yeah, so they could arrest your drug dealing ass. So meanwhile, where they send him to China. So they're going to China, and you have this dragon ship going there. Meanwhile, you got this dragon ship flying to China. A little boy turns around and see a man climbing the mountain. Who is that man? We'll find out in a second. So they finally land the dragon ship. He tells them, okay, go in there and get Black Panther and Luke Cage out of there. But as soon as they go in there, every ninja that's on the dragon ship already got their ass kicked and already tied up. So then the main guy in charge tells, okay, tear apart this facility, find out where Luke Cage and Black Panther went to. And T'Challa's like standing right behind him. He's like, don't bother. Like, you're here. And so they've already kicked the shit out of everybody here. He's like, oh, about time. I figured you would. I knew my men couldn't kill you if they tried. I had to see if you was the real one. So I sent everybody I could after you to make sure you were the real deal. And he was like, of course, you'd be a part of this kung fu treachery. And Luke Cage like, wait a minute, you know this guy? And T'Challa like, yeah, you know this guy too. This is the infamous food. Don't say it. Don't say my name. Because he can't say the name because Marvel lost the rights to it in the 70s. This is the infamous Fu Manchu, which they bought the rights at the beginning of the 70s and lost the rights at the end of the 70s. He was like, I don't go by that name anymore. Call me Han. He like Enter the Dragon? Like, yeah, so they just call him Han for the rest of it. But it's Fu Manchu. But yeah. So he was just like, so why did you kidnap me? He like, the reason I kidnapped you is because I heard through the grapevine that you're looking for a wife. You're looking for a bride right now. And you're like me, T'Challa. We can't marry regular women. Like, we can have our way with any woman we want. But if we're going to marry them, we got to have that special woman right here. So here's what I come to offer you. Bam, my daughter. And don't worry, she is genetically engineered to be the perfect mother and wife. And she can please any man better than anybody on the planet. And T'Challa and Luke Cage go, damn. And Luke Cage just like, man, T'Challa, if you don't go after her, I will. But he's just like, man, I understand. Because basically what Fu Manchu's plan is that because he genetically engineered his daughter to only produce sons. So if they produce a son, half Wakandan, half Chinese, they can rule Africa and Asia. That's actually not a bad plan. I think about it. So T'Challa's just like, man, I appreciate you, but my heart belongs to another, because he's thinking about Storm, and he was like, think about somebody else. You subhuman ape. How dare you insult me? And look, whoa, man, this shit went through 11 real quick. Why you gotta go all racial and shit, man? You could just say go to hell or something like that. He was like, nah, you disrespect me. Kill them. And you, bam, he slapped the shit out of his daughter. How dare you disrespect me also? I thought you were good enough to, you can't even please any man. And Luke Cage like, damn, that's the second time in 24 hours we saw a female get shit slapped out of her in front of us. And Black Panther's just like, okay, I'm about to beat the shit out of this dude right now. Anybody standing in my way, you won't go to the hospital with him. And then you hear another voice that says, stand back, he's mine. And who is it? Shang-Chi. He's here. And Luke Cage is like, who's that dude? And Black Panther like, wait, you don't know who Shang-Chi is? Like, nah, should I? They're like, aren't you friends with best friends with Danny Rand, the Iron Fist? Like, yeah, because everybody in the martial arts community know who Shang-Chi is. Yeah, Iron Fist is do his thing, but Shang-Chi is the master of. He's like, wait a minute, are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to insinuate that Danny Rand is a hater? That's why he didn't tell me who this guy is. Like, nah, I ain't say that. I thought it, but I ain't say it. So Shang-Chi is like, okay, let's go. And he just starts beating the shit out of everybody. What's up? Because before he became Simu Liu, he was Bruce Lee. That's, Shang-Chi. So yeah. So he's just Bruce Lee and everybody up and shit like that. T'Challa, they start pulling out guns and shit like that. He hits a thing in his belt, blows up the guns. And now everybody was kung fu fighting, knocking everybody out and shit like that. Fu Manchu, of course, gets away. They chase after him. Black Panther is seeing a dragon in front of him. He runs out of there. And Luke Cage, like, what's going on? And he gets blasted by a dragon. Meanwhile, Shang-Chi trying to tell him, didn't I just tell you I had to fight a dragon on my way to get up here? You're like, man, I thought you were, I thought that was a metaphor, And then Fu Manchu's daughter basically tells Black Panther, he like, look, Black Panther, I don't have any ill will against you. The only reason I even went with my father's plan, because I actually really wanted to meet you. And Shang-Chi's like, you know what? He's a cool dude, man. You know what? Whatever goes on between y'all have my blessing. And Luke Cage is like, T'Challa, let me holler at you for a second, man, because I know what you about to do. You're like, before you give the answer I think you about to give, take a good look at her right there, man. She fine as hell. She's Asian Halle Berry. So before you get the answer I think you about to give, do you at least want to take on a date at least? Like, can you think about it? And T'Challa's like, well, to be continued. So, yeah. So, that's it. What happens on the date? We'll find out next issue. So, yeah, this is a big chop socky.
Ninjas will come.
Right. More ninjas. So, yeah. So, this is basically chop socky action. Luke Cage and Black Panther own a fighting ninjas. You can't go wrong with ninjas. You know what the thing, Eli, about this book? It's just a stupid superhero comic book, which that's all it needs to be. Everybody always putting Black Panther like he's got to be some kind of social political symbol. It's got to have the weight of the African diaspora on him. Sometimes you just want to sit back and fight ninjas. Is anything wrong with that? No, just have to do the same shit he do in other superheroes do. Go to space, fight robots, fight ninjas, time travel, whatever the fuck.
Bang some chicks.
Yeah.
Fight more ninjas. Bang some chicks. Fight more ninjas.
Simple shit. It's not hard. It's not complicated. So yeah. So overall, like I said, the second part of the book, I'm going to finish off with a third issue, and we'll see where the story follows up from there. So yeah. Shoot, anything else you got? Or
Nah, booked out.
Booked out.
I've been reading those. What if Galactus books?
Oh, what if Galactus had Gambit and
Gambit, and this week
Kitty
was
Pryde,
Spider Gwen, and I like it. Kind of dawned on me: are they just doing this to prepare us for the female Silver Surfer?
That's what they're doing. They're roping you in. See, Eli, I was excited for Fantastic Four until you said that. You just triggered me. I think Marvel did a purpose for everything but Silver Surfer. So,
yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen. They're going to show Silver Surfer. They're going to gaslight into saying, well, he was always a female. Silver Surfer is just a title. It could be anything. Like, here we go.
Remember the time Spider Gwen was a herald?
Right. And then we're going to go back
2 weeks ago. And they're going to call us geeks and gamers. We're going to make the same videos they're making. And they're going to tell the difference. And we're going to get called all kind of names and shit. So be ready for it, Eli. Clicks, man. It's all about the clicks.
I know, man. I know. But I'm saying, be prepared. It's going to happen. So,
yeah.
Like I said, if you listen
no wonder we're not monetized.
Right, because we need to lean into that shit. So yeah. Like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, subscribe. Like I said, I know we ran through a whole lot of topics. I know people kind of jumping in and out, pieced out, came back in. We appreciate if you listen longer than 30 seconds, we appreciate you. That's all it takes for the algorithm to boost us up, to hit with the numbers where we need to get to. Yep. Like I said, I'm just ready for more Invincible. Can I talk about somewhere at the end of the podcast? Can I talk about something? A show I've been watching.
Sure.
This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I just want to talk about something. A show I've been watching, a sitcom. Lopez versus Lopez.
Okay, like with George Lopez?
With George Lopez. Okay, the show is about George Lopez with his real life daughter on the show. Like
Okay.
she's an actress or whatever like that, and they basically go back and forth. Like it's a situation pops up, and he gives his George Lopez interpretation of opinion, how to handle the situation, versus her Gen Z interpretation of how to handle the show. Funny show. I like it. So like that. What I didn't know that George Lopez was canceled. I didn't know that.
I heard something about that. I don't know why.
And I haven't really heard anything. Apparently, in his stand-up, not some tweets, just like in his stand-up, he basically shits on black people a lot.
Oh, no shit.
I didn't know that. So now what? So now I can't, because anytime I was thinking about, like, yeah, man, I've been watching this show a little bit. You watched it? You watch him? What the fuck wrong with you? So now I can't do shit, man. I can't do anything. Anytime I like anything, they get canceled. So yeah. So that's all I gotta say. I'm done. Yeah. Appreciate y'all listening. Come back next week. We'll check out something else. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Until then, die 1,000 deaths.